Looking to move to winter heaven in 2022-2023? Well, not until you watch this video on pro and cons of moving to living in winter heaven. Let's have a look. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Orlando Living with Dee, and if this is your first time, make sure to press that thumbs up button and show us some love. Press that bell icon button also, because we bring you community videos all throughout Central Florida and Tampa areas. We go deeper into the communities, talk about school, hospitals, pros and cons, everything that you need to know if you are planning to move. And today's community video is all about pro and cons of winter heaven. Now, the one thing that I want to say to you before I get into the pro and con, this is just my take. It does not necessarily mean it's a positive or a negative. What really matters is if it works for you and if it doesn't work for you. So the first pro of living in winter heaven is the small town feel. You're just about an hour to 15 minutes to Orlando. That's where we have all the craziness with the theme parks, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld. And then on this side, you're just about an hour or so to Tampa. So you're kind of in the middle. The population has not blown as it has in the nearby towns such as Winter Garden or Kissimmee or Davenport. So it's still very manageable. Prices are still affordable. So it's a small town living. You're not very far from everything. So if this is something you want to do, you could be near all the touristy area just about in an hour, but not that far. So now let's talk about the next pro of living in winter heaven. So the other pro of living in winter heaven is that it offers a lot of entertainment. I'm shooting this in Martin Luther King Park, which actually is right on Lake Silver. They do like a boat show. They do a bunch of things right over here. I don't even know what it's like skiing, and I think they have a boat show. Everything is there. And then right across from it, there's Winter Heaven Tennis Center. And then right across from that is the Chain of Lakes Trailhead Parks that has a water park for kids. And I have small kids, so I really love that I'm not very far, but you can bring your kids. You can have a really nice picnic. So there's a lot of things for you to do. And if you're into boating, there are over 50 lakes right here in winter heaven. It's very close to nature. And if some nature is your thing, then winter heaven is your place. Let's talk about the next pro of living in winter heaven. So the last pro of living in and moving to winter heaven is the location. Now, it could be a pro and a con. It really depends upon your situation, like I always say, because you're just about an hour to the theme park. But the best thing is, if you're a fan of Legoland, like my son is right now, you're only 15 minutes to the Legoland Park. It's just down the road, whereas the Busch Gardens is just about 45 minutes to an hour. You're also looking at theme park of Disney is about an hour, about hour and a 15 to hour and 30 minutes, depending upon the traffic and the bottleneck around the Disney area to the Universal and the SeaWorld. So it does offer a lot of stuff in terms of the community, but the other aspect of that is the price. Right now, it's still very affordable when you compare that to Kissimmee, Davenport, Wesley Chapel, Lakeland. Winter heaven is still very affordable. If you haven't watched my video on the winter heaven community as such, it should be in the community playlist. If it's not there, it will be releasing soon. Now that the pro is over, let's talk about the con of living in and moving to winter heaven. So the number one con of living in winter heaven is the property taxes. The property taxes in winter heaven are higher than the neighboring other towns, and that could be something for you to consider. So it may not be, however, the cost of living is lower, but because of the amenities and stuff, because it's a small town, you have to pay more in taxes. And if you are looking for a community with no HOA, that's going to be pretty difficult to find. And as a matter of fact, if you're looking for a newer home, it's going to be difficult to find a house anywhere in Central Florida and Tampa suburban areas, because most of them will have an HOA. And if you are looking for a brand new home, make sure to check out Orlando Home Show on YouTube. That's where we bring you brand new homes throughout Central Florida and Tampa areas. So now let's talk about the number 2 con of living in and moving to winter heaven. So one of the next con of living in winter heaven is that it's kind of losing its charm as a small town. And I said that in the beginning as a pro, but what I also want you to know is with the amount of development that's happening, you know, this place has seen appreciation over 20% year over year. And because of the location, because of everything that the city has to offer, you know, a lot of people are moving in. There's a lot of newer communities that are coming in. So it's probably going to be what Kissimmee used to be. At one point in time, it was a small town, not many people lived there, and then now Kissimmee's exploded. It's almost as good as Orlando in terms of population growth. Now it's expanding into Davenport. There's going to be a little while for winter heaven, but it's getting there. So that is something to just keep in mind. If you plan on just sticking here for the next 50 years, it might not be that small town that we talked about in the beginning. So let's talk about the next con of living in and moving to winter heaven. So the next con of moving to and living in winter heaven is the climate. Now I'm shooting this pretty much right after Thanksgiving, and it is hot and humid. I'm like, I am sweating bullets here. You know, it's hot. Now, if that is not your thing, then it may not be the right place for you. So just keep those things in mind, but that's Florida. And like I said, you know, it's a pro and a con. So this could be a pro to somebody that's moving from Minnesota, Milwaukee. By the way, I don't know how you guys live there, because I used to work in Milwaukee and Chicago, and oh my God, I mean, like, I bow down to you guys because I just couldn't take it. So Florida is my thing. I'm okay with the hot and humidity, but you know, being cold and all that is not my thing. I hope you get a lot of value from our videos. If you do, make sure to press that thumbs up button. Make sure to check out Orlando Home Show, and don't forget the bell icon button, so in that way you know what videos are coming. So help us out. Until the next video, thank you for watching. Bye for now.